convince him. I know you got excited because you want to be right. I love it. But I want to know what you think. That's what I want to know. Did you make your choice? All right. So go ahead and pick up your calculators, and I want you to work with your group. And the next thing that's supposed to happen is it says show how much you would gain at the end of 20 years for option 1. Okay? So however you want to show that, you can draw you a picture, you can type some numbers in the calculator, but whatever you either type in the calculator, whatever you draw, whatever you map out, you need to be able to show it. If you make an equation, I need you to put it in a space. If you don't have enough space, you can pull out some paper. And then the second part says, show how much you would gain at the end of 20 years for option 2. And then I'm going to pull some sticks for you to talk to me about that. How many people have at least started working on option 2 to map out?
I think I finished.
You think you finished?
Yeah.
Okay. How many people at least have option 1 mapped out? Whether it be with numbers that they added, multiplied, drew pictures. What are the two things that you're comparing? You're in, what is it that you're trying to find? How much that you would have at the end of what? So then, do you know how much you have the first year? Okay, so maybe you should write down what you have. Okay. So is that going to, now let me ask you a question, is that going to help you keep up with your thoughts? So if all you write on the paper is $1, what does that $1 represent? So then are you missing some info? Okay. So the idea is for you to do a little bit of, remember you said I'm still thinking, but you got to get your thinking on paper. So then you'll be able to write it down. See, you're going off what you think, trying to plug it into the calculator, as opposed to what you know. Write down what you know. So write down your info. Well, a lot of it was what they were talking about in their groups. The paper that I had in my hand, or the work that I had done previous, I wanted to think of some of the ways that I thought that they might come up with the answers that they had. I figured that naturally they would try, a lot of them would try to make an equation. And I tried to encourage them to just use different ways, not just an equation, because again, they always lean towards the last thing that they had done. And we have been working on a lot of equations. So they think that the only way for them to be able to get an answer is to mimic what their teacher does, and they don't remember the things that they did when they were in elementary school or when they were in middle school. And so on my paper, I had a lot of different ways that I thought that they could come up with an answer. I tried the question with a 4th grader at home. I tried the question with a 7th grader. I tried it with an adult. And I just wanted to see some of the things that they said. So as I walked around the room, I was looking to see if the kids were matching any of the ideas that an adult would have done or the 4th grader, and I encouraged them to use some of those ways. A lot of it, they started off with an equation, and as I walked around the room, I said, okay, I can't tell you if your equation is right, but can you justify why you would pick this equation? Can you draw me a picture? Can you make me a table? Can you reason out, even if you write out in words, what you think you're doing? And then just go back and check with your equation. A lot of what I saw was once they started doing different methods, a lot of them scratched out their equations, and they just stuck to, I guess, their backup plan because they could explain it a little bit better. So I wanted them to be able, again, to have a really good discussion about the choice that they made, the one they committed to. And maybe just to see some other things as well. A lot of them, when they finished justifying their choice, I told them to kind of investigate the other choice if they had some extra time, and think about some of the things someone else would do. But when I walked around the room to pick up or just see the things they were doing, I felt like it was going to be better if they kind of led the direction it was going in. So I chose an order based on how they could connect from one person to the next. If a person was drawing tallies, I kind of took the tallies to how a person would put in maybe a random table. Maybe they scratched out some stuff. Or someone who actually wrote out a very specific table with some X's and Y's. To maybe someone else who might have done some type of equation that they related back to their table. So I guess when I walked around the room, I was looking to see how I could connect one student's paper to another paper, just so that they could see how the thinking process was going, because I wanted them to present their ideas. And it would help them present a little bit easier if they were able to use the person that went before them to make their point about the paper they had under the presenter.